to Pica Poco Kitchen. Today we're making huaraches. Vámonos! Like many of our other staple foods, huaraches was born out of the cravings and suggestion of a customer to a food vendor. The year was 1935, Xochimilco, Mexico City. To be precise, Mercado de Jamaica, the biggest flower market that we have in the city, which is appropriately located in Xochimilco, which in Nahuatl means field of flowers. And it is also the remnant of the Aztecs lake system. Carmen Gomez Medina sold tlacoyos at the market. She was asked by a customer to make a bigger, wider one because he was starving and he wanted to put more fillings in it. She was up for the challenge and made it. Everybody was jealous of it. They started requesting it. And of course, it had to take a name, which in the beginning wasn't her favorite. The flatness and oblong shape of it reminded people of the sole of a shoe, so they started calling it huarache. She wasn't thrilled about it, but the name stuck, so in the end, she made food history. We love them, we crave them, and now I hope you make them too. These are the moments that I wish Shaq would turn away from pizza printers and decided to make his own huarache restaurant. Can you imagine that? That'll be good. Anyway, we're gonna start with standard size huaraches. So let's get to it. My protein of choice is going to be meat, so let's make a marinade. I'm gonna start with approximately 3/4 of a cup of olive oil. When making a balanced marinade, you have to take account of the four essential elements: fat, acid, salt, and flavorings. The normal ratio between fat and acid will be 3 parts to 1. So I'm adding approximately 1/4 of a cup of lime juice. For salt, you can use any salt you prefer, but my seasoning of choice is always Maggi, so I'm going to add 1 full tablespoon of that. This is the one that I like to use, but of course if you can find it or you don't have it, you can go for soy sauce or even miso. The flavoring part is where you get creative. You can go herbal, you can go spices, you can go wines or beers. I'm gonna keep it simple and go for pepper, 1 garlic clove, 1/4 of an onion, 1 teaspoon of my salsa matcha. Remember that? I'll tag the video somewhere over here. And to bring a little bit of funk and umami, I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. I've just looked it up and I can never remember how to say it. Give it a mix, a taste, adjust, and that's pretty much it. I love making marinades. Marinades are all about aromas and complexity, so it's a good time to experiment and try new things. This is a small batch marinade since I'll be only cooking 4 steaks. My beef of choice was top round. Get them all in and make sure they're all well coated. For this part, especially when it comes to meat, I really like to do this with my bare hands. I sort of enjoy it. Probably that's why I'm weird. To make sure the marinade is effective, you have to let it rest in the fridge at least for a couple of hours, but it's better overnight. To make the dough for the huaraches, I'm going to start with 1 cup of masa harina and salt to taste. I have my 1 1/4 cups of warm water. I always start with 1 cup and add the rest as I go. Dough it at the speed of light. Nope, just kidding. Take your time. Make sure all the masa is well hydrated, that there are no lumps left, and don't stop until everything is nice and smooth. Now it's time for the masa to relax. So cover it with plastic or a wet kitchen towel and let it rest for at least 10 minutes. While we wait, I'm gonna make 2 salsas, a green and a red one. For the green one, I'm gonna use 2 full jalapeno peppers. This is my version of my dad's restaurant, Salsa Verde. There was super simple jalapeños, water, and salt. But I like to add a quarter of an onion, one garlic clove. For seasoning, I like to use 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon, 1 tablespoon of white vinegar, and half a cup of water. Take that to the blender, and the easiest salsa verde is ready. Don't let its looks fool you, it is delicious. For a nice contrast on the salsa roja, I'm going to go for a smoky flavor. So I have 2 guajillos, deseeded, deveined, and 1 morita seeds in. Cover that with boiling water and let it sit for around 10 minutes. Transfer your peppers into the blender and add a quarter of a cup of the pepper brew, a simple seasoning of salt and pepper, a quarter of an onion, 1 garlic clove, and this time for acid I'm going for the juice of half a lime. Blend it and you're left with a smoky, earthy red salsa. Our dough has been resting. Let's give it one last stowing, then divide it and get it ready for shaping. This amount of dough will be good for 4 huaraches. I'm gonna take one of the pieces and ball it in my hands. Then lightly pressure it as a disc, and with my thumbs I'm gonna make an indent right in the center and spread it out just as if I were making a bowl. That little bowl is gonna be the home for 1 tablespoon of beans. Adding the beans as a filling is gonna make it a little bit trickier and harder to shape. So if you want to skip that, then you can add the beans later as a topping. Having in mind that huaraches started as tacos, we're gonna start by giving them the same shape, which is basically an American football ball but flat. I'm gonna tag the video for tacos over here just in case you haven't watched it or you need a review on that. Using a cut open plastic bag and a rolling pin, I'm gonna flatten my huarache until both ends hit the top and bottom of the bag. You could also use a heavy big container and press down. Keep going until you get the size that you are looking for. Just try to keep it around an eighth of an inch of thickness. If you're using a rolling pin, you can use your finger to keep your huarache in shape, and also have in mind that if you filled it with beans, some of them might come out, but that is okay. You can just wipe the excess and don't worry if some is right at the surface. With a pan hot and ready to go, carefully transfer your huarache. It'll take approximately 3 or 4 minutes on each side to cook. Once you have them all ready, don't forget to wrap them up in a kitchen towel, put them in a basket or in a tortilla warmer. And we're almost there. Now we just need to grill our meat. Don't forget those onions from the marinade. They're always a nice touch. This is gonna take around 2 minutes, and of course you may use whatever method of cooking that you want. Of course, if you're doing it in an outside grill, this will be even better. Once the meat is done, you can keep it as is or you can slice it into strips and set it aside. Before assembling, we need to fry the huaraches in a little bit of lard or oil. This gives you the opportunity to cook the huaraches ahead of time and fry them right before you're going to eat them. And just like in 1935, the toppings are gonna depend on the craving, so I'll make a simple and a supreme one. It is traditional to start with a layer of salsa. I'm going 2 colors right before the protein. And for protein, you can use any meat or even some saute mushrooms or any other veggies of your choice. In this case, I will also add a little bit of chorizo. Don't forget to add a layer of beans if you didn't add them in the huaraches, or even if you did, and that's how you go. Another traditional topping for huaraches is nopales, and I'm gonna add plenty to mine. If you would like to make your own because you don't have access to a jar, I will tag the video right here so you can do that. I would like to sprinkle a little bit of onion to mine and of course some cheese. It would be, and we absolutely need to rain cheese on them. I would love to have some queso fresco or cotija, but this time I'm out, so I'm gonna have to go for a little bit of shredded mozzarella. I know, shame on me. And here you have them. If you have tried my recipe for tlacoyos, I'll post it right here, and you like them, this is gonna be perfection for you. It's basically the same thing, just make them bigger, fry them, and put as many toppings as you want. Keep them simple, make them vegan, whatever protein that you prefer. They're your huaraches and they're supposed to feed you. So let's give them a go. To me, they are perfection. A great lunch slash dinner, both. Make them breakfast if you add eggs on it, whatever you want. But make sure, if you make them, to let me know in the comments, what do you think? I really hope you enjoyed this recipe, just like this video, and if you did, please share it with your friends. Like, subscribe, and be notified. And for more, follow me on the socials. Adios, amigues.